Hola to my guests, Tony Higgins and Des McKeown. Nah, it's not going to work, is it? So let's take a quick bounce around the grounds instead. First stop, Celtic Park. The champions at home to Kilmarnock. Here's Alistair Lamont with the headlines.
Kilmarnock on course for a first victory at Celtic Park in 57 years. Sheridan put them in front just before the break, and Liam Kelly's not long ago put them 2 up from the penalty spot. 2-0 Kilmarnock.
Right then, off to Pittodrie Stadium. It's Aberdeen at home to Dundee. Our reporter there, Scott Davey.
Well, Niall McGinn has become the first Aberdeen player since Duncan Shearer 20.
Thanks, Charlie. Full time now at Celtic Park. Kilmarnock were 2 up. The last we heard from Alistair Lamont. Al, how did it finish?
A momentous day for Kilmarnock, ending a 57-year hoodoo here at Celtic Park. It did finish 2-0. Killie and Sheridan getting the first of those. The former Celtic striker, of course, rounding Fraser Forster after a mistake between Adam Matthews and Efe Ambrose just before the end of the first half. Then in the second half, Kilmarnock still looking pretty assured. Rory McKenzie was fouled on the edge of the box by Emilio Izagiri, and Liam Kelly emphatically dispatching the penalty kick past Fraser Forster. To be honest, Celtic rarely threatened Cammy Bell even after that.
Right, chaps, we will talk about that match at length later on, but right now we're going to hear from Kenny McIntyre. You know what, chaps, I thought Alistair Lamont had finished his match report from Celtic, but apparently we cut him off in his prime. I've told you, Des, don't touch anything when you're in the studio. Al, can you, we do apologise, can you finish off your match report, please? Al, pick up where you left off, Celtic Kilmarnock.
I thought it was just my voice that had eventually packed in there, but just to summarise, yeah, it was goals from Killie and Sheridan just at the end of the first half, and Liam Kelly from the penalty spot that put paid to Celtic and ended that 57-year hoodoo Kilmarnock had not quite enjoyed here at Celtic Park. But that first victory since 1955. Kilmarnock were good value for the victory. Celtic not a patch on the side that impressed in the Camp Nou during the week, and so it was that it finished Celtic 0, Kilmarnock 2.
Celtic suffered both pride and pain in midweek as they lost in Barcelona to virtually the last kick of the game. If they were going to have a Champions League hangover, Kilmarnock were keen to make the most of it. 5 changes from Tuesday night to Saturday. Matthews, Kayal, Forrest, Commons and Miku replacing Lustig, Wanyama, Brown, Samaras and Hooper. Kilmarnock had the returning Momo Sissoko among their subs, and Killie and Sheridan leading their attack against his old club. Liam McLeod was at Celtic Park.
It really was heartbreaking for Celtic the other night in Barcelona. Such a good performance defensively. They'll be asked to come forward a lot more this afternoon though, as that one comes in towards Miku. And Ryan O'Leary threw out a leg to deny the Venezuelan a first goal for the club. Matthews. It's been such a long time since Kilmarnock won here. Not many expecting them to do anything as Chris Commons floats it in. Miku does well! And somehow Joe Legley has put that past. Well, how on earth has he missed it? On a plate for the Wales international. Celtic aiming to go 5 points clear at the top of the SPL. And that is a brilliant pass from Charlie Mulgrew for Izagiri. There's nobody there to tuck it in. Well, Celtic are beginning to threaten now. Chris Commons upended. Celtic have a free kick opportunity, which Mulgrew takes, and Bell is equal to. First save he's had to make, really. Adam Matthews. What's a poor ball, asking a lot of Ambrose, who couldn't get back there. Killie and Sheridan's in. Forster thought about coming, he doesn't, and Killie and Sheridan will score against his old club and give Kilmarnock a sensational lead in Glasgow. Well, Efe Ambrose couldn't really do much with the pass from Adam Matthews, and Killie and Sheridan, the coolest man inside Celtic Park, as he went round Fraser Forster. He was caught in 2 minds. In the end, he elected not to come out to meet the striker. And Sheridan has the easiest of tasks to give Kilmarnock a shock lead. Given away by Celtic again. Sheridan. Kelly. He loses out to Ledley. And now Celtic have weight in numbers, and it's James Forrest on the right hand side. It's in for Hooper. Well, on at half time as Neil Lennon tries to waken his team up. Gary Hooper missing the chance though. Efe Ambrose, and it's straight back to Kilmarnock, and it's James Dayton who is coming forward with menace here. It's open right up for Dayton, and Forster's there as he was in midweek and keeps it down to just 1-0. That is a terrific save from Forster. It's not going Neil Lennon's way, he knows it. It's Mulgrew, and it's Bell, but it has been spilt. Celtic still have it with Miku, and Kilmarnock scramble it away. Good free kick from Mulgrew, around the wall. McKeown. This is Rory McKenzie. Good play from the 18-year-olds, a good runs away from Izagiri, and he's gone down. Oh, Crawford Allen's given the penalty. Such a long time since Kilmarnock won here, 57 years, but they have a chance for a second goal. Liam Kelly takes and scores! Unbelievable! Kilmarnock lead Celtic by 2-0, and a real special moment for Liam Kelly, that one.
Scorer for Kilmarnock, number 8, Liam Kelly.
Mulgrew. Celtic need a response, and they need it soon. McCourt. Through it comes, Izagiri is offside. It won't count. The Celtic fans thought they had reduced the arrears. Very tight decision though. Ambrose. Hooper. Oh, great ball. Now it's James Forrest for Celtic. It still won't go in for them. And lashed over by Tony Watt. And they needed that one. Did the SPL champions. In from James Forrest. Long one from Forster, but Celtic are running out of time very quickly. Forrest. Good ball here for Watt. Bell's there. It's still in play though. And eventually Kilmarnock clear. Well, Neil Lennon won't be happy that his team hasn't really tested Cameron Bell as he would have liked.
The first Kilmarnock win at Celtic Park, Stephen, for 57 years. Quite amazing. How much was that about Celtic failing to deliver, and how much was it about Kilmarnock getting things absolutely right?
Well, it's probably a little bit of both. You know when you go to Celtic Park, you're going to have to defend. You know they're going to create chances against you, but if you can play within your shape, if you can be clinical when your chances come along, Kilmarnock done that. But you see the chances Celtic had. Neil said after the game they were lethargic. They played the game like a testimonial. There was no pace in the game, but they still had good opportunities to go and score goals. If Celtic score first at Celtic Park, it's normally difficult to come back. Kilmarnock got the first goal. Suddenly, then their game plan kicked in. So probably a little bit of both there, Rob.
John, does it make you reassess how you think this league campaign is now going to go? Celtic have won only 6 of their first 10, beaten by both St Johnstone and Kilmarnock. Could it be more competitive than we think at the top?
Yeah, I think it's competitive all the way through. I mean, when you look at I think it's 6th position till 11th position, there's only 3 points divide the teams.
Yeah, but what about the top end?
6 points from basically second place till 11th. So, I mean, you look at it, you win 3-4 games, and then you end up in second place. But I mean, when you look at Celtic's position, and now they're out in front, but I don't think it's as comfortable as what everyone thought at the beginning of the season, and that's the most important thing for the likes of ourselves and every other team. It's a lot more competitive.
I think it was good for the league, without being too detrimental towards Celtic. I think it's good for the other teams to see St Johnstone beating Celtic and Kilmarnock beating Celtic. Suddenly there's a little bit of belief there. But
even Ross County, that just came into the league as well.
They drew with them. But you look at the squad of players Celtic have. I know Neil made 5 changes yesterday. 4 of them are full internationals. So you still would have expected Celtic to go and beat Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock had lost their 2 previous games getting into the game. But it just shows you, Rob, football's got a little habit of giving you a reminder, and sometimes throws up defeats when you're not expecting them.
It's interesting that Killie and Sheridan should have scored in that game, because here he is 4 years ago, looking a bit more fresh-faced as a 19-year-old, scoring for Celtic against Kilmarnock.
Well, listen, he's had a great impact, since he's went to Kilmarnock. But his career probably hasn't went the direction he would have liked it went in. Then, he'd still probably like to be at Celtic scoring goals, but he's had to go away, learn his trade. He's been at St Johnstone, he's been in Bulgaria, and he's now found a home in Kilmarnock where he seems comfortable. 5 goals in 6 games, John. It's a good return for a striker.
It's a great return. I mean, you know what you're getting when you play against Killie and Sheridan. He's very quick, powerful. He's a great finisher, as you can see in his younger days there. But I mean, he's got a wee bit of experience as well now. He's been about Motherwell, St Johnstone, and as Stephen says, he's at Kilmarnock now, and he seems to be hitting a good bit of form.
Two sides to the story of the opening goal yesterday, because it's a horrible mix-up between Matthews and Ambrose at the back from Celtic. But Killie and Sheridan has a lot to think about here and a lot to do.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it takes a gamble, where a lot of strikers probably would sit off that and let the two centre-halves have it. He takes a gamble and goes and presses the centre-back. To be honest, I think it's probably played the wrong side of the centre-back. Should maybe be played to his right foot rather than his left, but even at that, I mean, it takes a gamble, and it's great composure when he goes round the goalkeeper, not even to take it with his first touch with his right, but he takes a couple and then puts it in with his left.
And it's no fluke, of course, for Kenny Shiels against Celtic, because Kilmarnock beat them in last season's League Cup final, so he clearly knows the right buttons to push.
Well, he's got a little bit of history, hasn't he? You know, it's funny because before the cup final, I remember him in the papers in, and he was writing Kilmarnock's chances off and putting all the pressure on Celtic. I think this week he was doing the same. He was saying it was all about Celtic. They've been to Barcelona, it's been great, but you know, Kenny works very hard at his shape. I've been down to watch him training a few times, and they work hard in the shape with and without the ball. They have a plan they try and play to. He obviously did tactics yesterday, and it worked. You know, it doesn't always work when you play against the bigger teams, but it worked yesterday, and they got a vital 3 points.